the Christian faith is the only faith that gives you a satisfactory strength and explanation for suffering. Hear me please, I have debated many a Hindu scholar. They have never been able to give the answer to the origin of evil. You ask them, ask any one of them. I have debated some of the shrewdest one of them. The last one I debated had personally authored more than 100 books. He had no answer for it. He said, we've got to live with brotherhood. I said, I agree. But my problem is I see more hoods than brothers. I said, would you explain to me where this hoodishness comes from? Would you explain the origin of evil and so on? And so what has happened in some of these systems, they end up punishing you. Every time something evil comes your way, they force you to believe something wrong was committed by you and therefore you're paying the price for it. And every time something tragic happens in our lives, there's always somebody who wants to point a finger at you. Every time a child goes astray, someone wants to tell the parent, you've got this done all wrong, you did this, you did that, that's where you're paying the price for it. No, ladies and gentlemen, the problem of evil is a complex issue on its own. But let me funnel it down to the narrow experience of human suffering and show you how Christ alone gives you this answer. Comes out of Waltham, Massachusetts, a woman by the name of Edith Taylor. I think it was Guidepost magazine that had published it many, many years ago. I tried to make some notes and this is what I remember of it. She was married to a man, had a family, and then her husband went over to Japan. And when he went to Japan, letters would come regularly, they would correspond, and the children and the wife used to look forward to the letters. When all of a sudden the letters stopped coming, several weeks on end, suddenly one letter comes saying, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you, and whichever way I break this news to you is going to crush your heart. I've fallen in love with another girl back here. I'm not going to be coming back home. The heart of this woman was broken. For many days she didn't break the news to the children. Finally the little one said, Mommy, something's wrong. Why isn't Daddy writing anymore? And then one of them said, is Daddy not coming back home? She says, no, son, Daddy's not coming back. And then this mind of Christ in a little boy, mind filled with the wonder of capacity to believe. He says, Mommy, just because Daddy doesn't love us anymore, does it mean we are not allowed to love him anymore? Answer, no, I guess we can continue to love him. Would you please tell Daddy to continue writing to us? We want to love him and we want to hear from him. He got married to a 15-year-old servant girl, sent the letters, had children, photographs of the children had come, and with every letter, Edith Taylor may as well have had a steamroller go over her heart. She was being crushed more and more. Finally, this one that will strain credulity, he writes and says, I have just found out I've been stricken with cancer. I'm not going to live long. And since I don't have too much of savings, would you consider it in your heart on a monthly basis after I die to put some money aside and send it to my wife and children here? They will not have enough to live on. And as she went in utter revolt within herself, as you've reacted, as I reacted, as you read it and you say, incredible that a mind of a human being could punish somebody like this. But as that punishment began to ease a little bit under the grace of God, she wrote and said, look, I don't have enough to sustain our family, but I'll do something if it's acceptable to you when you're dead. If these people have no money, no help, send them over to America. I will teach them the language, help them to stand on their own feet so that they can be self-sustaining too, which is precisely what happened. The family arrives, she sees the children of a betrayed love. For some time unable to contain it, but loved them as Christ would have loved them, raised them up, set them up on their own feet, and she culminates her testimony by saying, in that dark, dreary, hellish situation, I thank God for the ray of light and hope to share some of the love of Christ in this very dismal setting. Ladies and gentlemen, only Christ can give that to you. You know what the principle is? Jesus Christ enables you to take a disadvantage, turn it into an advantage, and use it for the glory of God.